is taking a look at your funnel metrics and if they are improving. All of the initiatives that RevOps is working on from an operational perspective should be showing up in the improvement of funnel metrics. Welcome to the Lean Scale podcast, where we talk about everything RevOps. Thank you for listening.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Lean Scale podcast. Today I am joined by a special guest, Anthony Enrico. Anthony, welcome to your show.
Can't believe I'm here. Thanks for inviting me, Bernardo. Appreciate it.
It is my pleasure to be interviewing you today. You've been a VP of RevOps across 3 different companies, and now at Lean Scale, you were the CEO of a RevOps company. So figured who better to ask about how to measure ops than yourself.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about a lot of things, but RevOps is something I've at least been exposed to.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. What are some of the metrics and things that you look forward to when assessing how a RevOps department is performing?
It's a really good question because it's really hard. It's hard to know, is your RevOps team good or not, and to point to an exact metric. Where I usually like to start is orienting our success not by looking just at the RevOps team, but starting with how well is the company doing? Because one of the most important responsibilities your RevOps team should have is putting together an integrated operating plan and understanding, did you set a plan that the teams are achieving and being successful with is one of the most important aspects of RevOps, and where I look towards to see if your RevOps team is doing well or not.
I think that's one of the things that you're exactly right, and we talk a lot about this in the podcast, but you're in a privileged position as a RevOps leader in order to unify the business. You should be a strategic advisor in terms of setting the goals. You should be leading the process because you're going to be the one with all of the metrics, the information, and you've worked with all of these departments before. So I think starting there and understanding what the impact RevOps has on the overall business plan and how we're performing to it is critical. Awesome. Well, what next?
After that, so just looking at, okay, is the business overall hitting its plan, the plan that you put in place? And are they achieving the targets that you put in place? I like to look at individual departments that RevOps serves. So sales, marketing, customer success, and partnerships if you have that team. Is each one of those teams hitting their plan? And are they hitting the expectations that they have? And is the RevOps team enabling them to be successful? A few things you'd want to look at is maybe turnaround time for proposals. If your ops team is involved in that, are you able to help assist that turnaround time and make things run efficient for the sales team? The next might be, are you giving marketing enough data to understand their channel efficiency to make adjustments as the year is going along? So are the teams that you serve hitting their plans and hitting their expectations of how they think things should be operating?
Awesome. In terms of getting feedback from those teams, are there any particular methods that you recommend in order to keep that open communication channel and have a process to continuously improve?
Well, there's a couple ways. If you're a VP of RevOps, you should absolutely be having a one-on-one with each functional leader on a weekly basis and asking them how things are going and what do they need. Do they need data support? Do they need technology support? Do they need operational or strategic guidance? Where can your team help them be successful? After that, I always liked to have an individual contributor champion. So maybe a sales rep or a marketer who has an interest in RevOps and likes to think outside the box of their role a little bit and just understand what's working well for their day-to-day or what's not working well, and getting firsthand feedback there. So I spent a lot of time in one-on-ones. That's one of the biggest ones. And then I would also say formally having a surveying process in place. So send it to everybody you serve. Every sales rep, every marketer, every CSM, partner managers, everybody should get the RevOps satisfaction survey where they can give feedback. How is the tech stack working for you? Do you need to get additional tools? Do we need to make tweaks in how things are operating? Do you feel you have access to the right data to make decisions and be productive in your role? And is there anything that we can be doing to help? Send out that survey, get feedback, and then make adjustments. Don't do it just to do it. Do it so that way you can improve your team.
Yeah, ultimately, what you said there, and I think people in customer success are probably relating to this right now, is we're a service team, right, in RevOps, and this is essentially a voice of customer. Our customers are going to be the individual contributors and departments within the company, so making sure that we're delivering the things that are meaningful to them and are tailoring our services accordingly will ensure that they have everything that they need in order to succeed.
That's right.
Awesome. Let's get tactical. What are some of the metrics that you look at in terms of things that we're delivering to these individual departments that you want to keep an eye out for?
One of the things that's more concrete and objective, so some of these other aspects might be subjective. So if the sales leader thinks you're doing well, is that the definition of you doing well? But something that is data driven is taking a look at your funnel metrics and if they are improving. All of the initiatives that RevOps is working on from an operational perspective should be showing up in the improvement of funnel metrics. And when I say funnel metrics, I mean conversion rates should be increasing. You should be having higher conversions from SQL to close one because you put in the right tools to qualify well, to route things well, get things done in an efficient manner, and give a better experience to the potential customer and get that moving down the funnel. Cycle time should be reducing. Okay, did you put in technology like a CPQ and CLM so we can get proposals turned around really quickly? We can get approvals done internally, done really well. Are you giving the leaders data to make decisions to invest in more efficient channels and to increase the productivity and efficiency of their teams? Looking at the improvement of funnel metrics should be a direct correlation to the revenue operations initiatives that you have completed.
Awesome. I 100% agree. And bringing it back to a previous point, especially with technology, understanding the impact of what that's bringing. It's not necessarily always going to be a dollar ROI, but understanding the time saving and the adoption and things like that will give you a lot of goodwill for your end user teams. If you can get people to have more time to work on other things, it will definitely show across the pipeline.
Yeah, and if you've ever done a capacity plan or growth model, take a look at tweaking your conversion rate or cycle assumptions just a little bit. Really small adjustments can make massive gains in a plan, especially as you grow and scale. Once you have serious teams operating, you have scaling teams, those little adjustments compound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all about those small gains. Operations, typically you're not going to be changing something drastically that will kind of waterfall and open up a dam, but you get enough 1% increases, you grow exponentially pretty quickly from there.
Yeah, and one thing I would also add is you do want to look at all the things that we talked about, but also keep in mind your ops team is there to prevent risks and to prevent issues from going on as well. So sometimes I compare it to, what's the ROI of having an accounting team? Mm-hmm. Well, what would be the catastrophic issue if you didn't have an accounting team? So some aspects of assessing how well your ops team is doing is, are you reducing any risks as well? So, how many days have you gone without a serious priority zero issue in the tech stack or serious data issues in a board meeting?
Of course. Are there any other metrics that you'd like to touch on that you think are relevant to this discussion?
Only one more to add, I think will be helpful for RevOps leaders or anybody working in a RevOps team. This is really about tactical and operational projects. If you have any projects in place, tracking your budget and expected completion time and making sure you're staying under budget and on time. That's another objective way to look at how well your RevOps team is doing. So as an example, if you're going to be implementing a new CRM, bringing in a new technology, you need a new set of metrics for a board meeting or offsite, your ability to produce those on time and under budget is a really good way to assess the efficiency and productivity of your RevOps team overall.
Got it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the time, Anthony. This was lovely.
You're welcome. I hope it was helpful. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you liked the discussion, please like, share, and subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss a new episode.